Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we will discuss about prompts and prompt templates. So first of all, the first question which comes to our mind is, what is a prompt? So a prompt for a language model is like telling it what to do. It's a set of instructions or things you say to the model to help it understand and give a good response. So you might ask it a question, finish a sentence, or just talk to it, and the model will use that info to reply in a way that makes sense. Now, what is a prompt template? Prompt templates are pre-made instructions for language models. Langchain provides prompt template to help create parameterized prompts for language models. Templates include examples, specific context, and task-related questions. Langchain offers tools to create and use these prompt templates. Langchain aims to make templates that work with different language models. Langchain models usually expect prompts as either a single string or a list of chat messages. Now, let us see some examples. First of all, let us import the OpenAI model and prompt template from Langchain. Then we call the OpenAI model using the OpenAI API key. Now let's try passing in some prompts here. So first of all, we ask, tell me the name of cricketer from India. So let's run it. So it says Sachin Tendulkar. But what if we don't want to pass the word cricketer and India here, and rather we want to pass the name of another sport and another country? So in that case, we can use prompt templates. So now, first of all, we'll define a prompt template where we'll say, tell me the name of a sports, which is a variable, and also from country, which is another variable. And while creating this prompt, we'll pass these two variables and the values. So now let's run this. Now let's try to run the invoke function here. So now as we can see, it gives the answers Virat Kohli. So basically, LangChain provides prompt template to help create parameterized prompts. So these are the parameters which we are passing here as the sports and the country. So we can pass any values for these parameters, and this will work in a very dynamic way. Now let us see what is chat prompt template. To communicate with chat models, we use a list of chat messages. Each message includes content and a role. For example, AI assistant, human, system. So these are the roles basically. In the OpenAI chat completions API, a chat message can be linked to roles like AI assistant, human, or system. Now let us see a few examples on chat prompt template. First of all, let us import a chat OpenAI model. Now we call this chat OpenAI model using the OpenAI API key. Here we import the chat prompt template. First of all, we define the template here. So we define the system, human, and the AI messages. So the system message says you are a helpful subject teacher. So the subject is a variable. And the human message says, hello, I need your help to study few science topics. And the AI says, sure, how can I help you? And then again, the human or the user asks the question. So once we are done with creating the template, now let's format this template by passing the values of the variables, which are subject and the question. So in place of subject, we are passing science, and in place of question, we are passing the question, that is what is entropy. Now let's see the messages. So when we print the messages, it gives us some details about the system message, human message, and AI message. Now let us run the invoke function to see the output. As we can see, it returns a very beautiful answer, which says entropy is a concept in thermodynamics that measures the level of disorder or randomness in a system, and it goes on creating the further answer. Now, this can also be done in another way using the human message prompt template, AI message prompt template, and system message prompt template. Here, while defining the chat prompt template, we create the system message prompt template, and the AI message prompt template, and the human message prompt template. So first of all, we say that you are a helpful subject teacher in the system message prompt template. So here we are basically telling the role which the model has to play. So we are telling the model that you are a helpful teacher, and we can pass any subject over here. And then the human message prompt template, here we can pass the input as the user. So now let us pass these variable values and let's check out what are the values in the message variable. So here we see few details about the system message, AI message, and the human message. Now let's run the invoke function to see the outputs. Again, we can see the output here. Now let us discuss about few short prompt templates. So in this part, we will discover how to make a prompt template using few short examples. We can build a few short prompt template using either a group of examples or an example selector object. So first of all, let's explore how we can create a few short prompt template using a example set. So first of all, let's import few short prompt template and also prompt template. Here we have given a set of example question and answers. Now we need to create a formatter for the few short examples. So we have to configure a formatter that will format the few short examples into a string. This formatter should be a prompt template object. So here we have done the formatting. Now we are creating the few short prompt template. So here we are passing the examples, we are passing the formatter. Now let's run these cells to see the output. Now let's run the invoke function. So the question was how many teams participate in IPL? And it says 8 teams participate in IPL. Now this can be also done using example selector. Instead of using examples directly for the few short prompt template, we can use example selector. So example selector uses semantics similarity example selector class to choose the example out of the few short examples based on their similarity to the input. So from all the examples which we will pass in the few short examples, it selects the best matching example as per the input. It utilizes an embedding model to compute similarity and a vector store for finding the closest matches. Now let us see an example here. First of all, we import semantic similarity example selector. We import the chroma vector store, and we also import the OpenAI embeddings. So in the semantic similarity example selector, we'll pass the examples which we created above. We'll pass the OpenAI embeddings, and we also pass the vector store. And here we'll also say how many similar examples we want to find which has very close similarity with the input. So here we have kept it as 1. Now we'll see, we'll give a question which is how many centuries did Sachin score? And now we use the example selector to find the closest match out of all the few short examples which we gave to this input question. So now let's run this cell. So it says examples most similar to the input, which was how many centuries did Sachin score. So the one example which is most similar is who is known as the god of cricket. And of course, we know it's Sachin Tendulkar. Now, let us create the few short prompt template. So in the few short prompt template, we provide the example selector and we also provide the example prompt. And then we ask the question, how many centuries did Sachin score? So let us run this cell. Now let us find the answer. So it says Sachin Tendulkar has scored 100 centuries in international cricket. Now let us discuss about few short examples for chat models. So we can provide few short prompts to chat models in two ways. The first of which is the fixed examples, in which we provide a fixed set of examples to the chat models. So first of all, let's import the chat prompt template and also the few short chat prompt template. Again, here we have defined a set of examples, which is uh, the input is a word and the output is a synonym of that word. So now we'll create a prompt template used to format each individual example here. So as we can see, this has converted the examples in a certain format where the human says happy and the AI says the synonym of that word, which is joyful. Now let us create the final prompt here. So here we are telling the system that you are an English language expert and we'll be giving the input as a word, and we're expecting the model to return a synonym of that word. So let us run this cell. Now let's pass the word cold as the input here and let's check out the output. So it says chili. So it has returned a synonymous word for cold, which is chili. We can also do this using dynamic few shot prompting. So here also we use semantic similarity example selector and also chroma as the vector store. We're also using OpenAI embeddings. Here we have created the example set with different kinds of examples. So when we pass the input, we want to find the best matching example from this example set which matches best with the input. To do so, we are using semantic similarity example selector. So here we are converting the examples into embeddings and we are storing those embeddings into the ChromaDB vector store. Then we are again calling the semantic similarity example selector and we are providing the vector store and the number of similar examples we want to find from the example set. Here we have passed the input as furious. So first of all, let's run these cells. So we can see that the similar word is angry. Now let us import the chat prompt template and also the few short chat message prompt template. Now let's create the few short chat message prompt template. Here we need to provide the input variable and also the example selector. We also need to provide the chat prompt template here. So once we do this, let's create the final prompt. Here we again ask the system that you are an English language expert, and as a human we'll be passing the input here. So we pass the input word as amazing. Let us find the answer. It says astonishing, which is a synonym word for amazing. So that's all for this video. I will be uploading the code in the description. Please like the video and subscribe the channel.